Hello, friends and family. It's day 89, cycle 5, day 4. If you're new, I'm Jen. If you've been before, thank you so much for coming back. Welcome, one and all, to my quest to crush aggressive diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, DLBCL, stage 4. We're using the R-EPOCH Immunotherapy chemotherapy cocktail to crush Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Let's get into it. What's in your toolbox for getting through challenging times? That's today's question. So you might guess that the times are getting challenging. I'm on day 4 of the cycle, and I'm coming into the hard times. I can feel them. So I have a few quotes for you, and then we can talk about it. Quote number 1. Clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Anonymous. Quote number 2. Connecting with those you love, like and appreciate you, restores the spirit and gives you energy to keep moving forward in this life. Deborah Day. Quote number 3. Going through challenging things can teach you a lot, and they also make you appreciate the times that aren't so challenging. Carrie Fisher. So my number 1 in my toolbox, my personal toolbox, is to be compassionate and gentle and patient with myself. That means not pushing myself physically, emotionally, or even in the noodle too much right now, because I need to have all my energy in healing my body from the poisoning. So we'll talk about this a little later, but I have just a little bit more poisoning to go right now, about probably 15 hours of the continuous, and then the kick in the pants for me, the cytoxin at the center tomorrow afternoon. And then the poisoning will be done. But that's when the hard part starts for me. And that's the beginning of the healing. So I typically have somewhere between 1 and 3 days where I just get knocked down. And if you all remember last cycle, in cycle 4, I wasn't feeling that well in days 1 through 5 either. I think this time I tolerated days 1 through 5 a little better. I think I was much more gentle with myself. I did ask for extra hydration at the center, and I did follow through with my goal or plan, my planning, to hydrate so I could flush, right? That was my plan, and I think maybe it worked because I do feel a little bit better, although not great. Certainly better than cycle 4 at this time, so I'm calling that a win. Surrounding yourself with the love and support of all of you. Definitely, I think I tell you almost every day, and if I don't, I apologize, that having you behind me and supporting me and loving me and just sending that good mojo is helping me, armor up and get ready for the battle every day, and certainly on these rough days. So I think that's definitely something in my toolbox, is keeping you guys around me and drawing from your support. And I really, really appreciate that support. Let me just say that. Okay, and then finally, and I think I say this a lot too, is knowing that getting through this, getting to the other side, will help me appreciate the good stuff, right? Because I've already done this, and I know, and not just in these cycles, these 5 or 6 cycles I'm doing this time, but also, unfortunately, because I've already gone through this experience multiple times. So I know it's much better to be on the other side, or the other side. I have to remember you guys are seeing a mirror image. It's much better to be on the other side of the of this experience, right? To have gone through this and survived and be on the happy side, living my best life. That is the goal. So these are the main things in my toolbox to get through the rough times. Be gentle, patient, compassionate with myself. Really amp down what expectations I have for myself, which I'm working on. Surrounding myself with love and support, which I think I've done. I'm very, very fortunate to have immediate and extended family and friends and this community to provide that support, and I really appreciate it. And then knowing that getting through this, there's the rainbows and unicorns are on the other side. So just keep going, and I'll get to the rainbows and unicorns, right? All right, so that is my toolbox. What's in your toolbox? You can help us share with us down below. What's in your toolbox to get through the challenging times? All right, so moving on to how am I? I'm definitely, chemo is the real feeling the symptoms, but it is tolerable. They're definitely increasing day over day, but tolerable. All right, angel deliveries. We had amazing angel deliveries. I'm going to share a picture here. We got an epic pie, and I just took one picture, and I'm like, no, this doesn't give scope. So I took a 20-ounce Diet Coke bottle that I had on the counter, and I put it in with the pie so you could get a scope of the size of this pie. It's massive. I think we ended up as a family of 4 with 3 grown males eating about half the pie, which was not too bad, not too shabby, but this thing was humongous. Very appreciative. Thank you so much for this angel delivery. And then we got queso tots, which Bill immediately said was only for him. And he ate about, I don't know, half of the serving. And the rest is in the fridge for tomorrow, is my guess. And I just asked him recently, how was your dinner? He's like, it was amazing, he said. So our whole family is very appreciative. Thank you very much for the angel delivery. Yum, yum. And I was able to eat a slice or 2 of the pizza. It's very thin crust. And the crust was almost like crackers, so it really helped with my belly. And it had just enough of the cheese and sauce to counteract. If it's just carbs, it helps immediately, but then I don't feel good pretty soon after. But when I have, more proteins and mixed, then that helps control my nausea. So we'll talk about that later, but I did end up medicating last night, and I haven't medicated during the day. There was one time in the afternoon where I thought maybe I should do that. But I think that those days are coming, so we'll see how that rides tomorrow. And I will medicate again tonight is my plan. All right, so doctor news. Nurse Lana came. This is the last time I see her for a week. She changed my bag, last bag change. Tomorrow they'll take the bag off at the center, and I'll be done until the next cycle. And she changed my dressing, so she'll come again next week, Monday or Tuesday, to change the dressing because they're supposed to happen once a week. But I think she mentioned that her Mondays are pretty rough, so one day's not going to be the end of the world. It does get a little itchy for me, but we'll deal with it as we get there. It's always Benadryl. All right, so let's get into the to-dos for today. Here comes my to-dos. All right, I worked. I was fairly productive today at work. I hydrated. I think I'm at 72 ounces right now, and I have at least another 16 to drink, because I usually end my day with a protein drink. I obviously am on chemo. I had my bag change I just mentioned, and my dressing change. I continue to improve my video editing skills. If you'll notice at the beginning of the video, after I do my It's Day and I welcome you in, I changed the picture, so there's 5 pictures. I can't remember the days I did, but I wrote on each picture the day, flashes up as the picture comes up. Day 1, day 18, day 30-something, day 50, and day 75 maybe I did, so you get a kind of a smattering of the progression. I did order my new phone grip. That was on my would love to do from yesterday. And that was about it as far as my ta-da, which I think is pretty good because I've been moving much slower and being much more forgiving, so I'm not getting as much done, which is a little aggravating to me, but not the end of the world. And I know that there's just a few more days of this. Hopefully by day 10, today's day 4, by day 10 to 12, I should be pretty close to my regular stamina. Fingers crossed. All right, so my must-do: work, hydrate, finish my chemo. By the time you hear this video, I only have 7 hours left on my bag or so. So that's a big thumbs up. And then the big thumbs down is tomorrow afternoon I have to go to the doctor's office for my Cytoxin, which is the end of the poisoning for this cycle. I find the Cytoxin to be the hardest part of the chemotherapy. Even though I've been on this bag continuously, I find Cytoxin to just really take me down. And then I must rest. That's on my must do. Every day since I started, I've had at least one nap and sometimes more, and I'm relaxed as much as I could. So tomorrow will be no exception. I haven't been sleeping great. You'll see that later on. I think because of the prednisone. So tomorrow my plan is when I'm awake, whatever time that is, I'm going to go to work, and then I'm going to cut work out to go to the doctor's office, probably 2 or 3. Right now, my appointment's scheduled for 3:30. I'm going to call them in the morning and say I'll be done around 2:30. Do you want me to come in sooner? Because you know, the office closes at 5, so sometimes they like that if they have the space. So I'll ask them. All right, so my would love to do is order my phone hub dangle. I talked about that a little bit yesterday. I got caught in analysis paralysis today, and plus work, I just didn't get into that. And I still have not set up Bob's old PC for me. So that's another thing I would like to do tomorrow, because I do have a couple of robotics calls, but if I don't, I don't. Again, gentle, compassionate, forgiving. And that is all I have for my ta-da and my to-do list. One other thing I did accomplish was just about half a mile on charity miles. Again, that's not reflective of my steps. I think, yeah, I'm actually over my 7,000 goal, but they were just, you know, clusters here and there. And so I did not accumulate, you know, I didn't like do any like walking, talking on the phone, specific exercise for charity miles, which is a little inconvenient, but neither here nor there. I did get a little bit in. We still have 16 folks on our team. Thank you, team. And collectively, we've done 627 miles. So great, great job. Very proud of everyone. And I'm so happy to see everyone moving. So if you've just come for story time, that's all I have for you today. Sorry, not as high energy or as much information, but that is because I'm focusing inside. But I would like to share with you. So here I am today. All right, so we are going to get into daily symptoms and statistics. Lightning round, I hope. All right. I wasn't thrilled with this section of the video yesterday. I think it's a little hard to see, so I'm going to see what I can do tonight to make, you know, put something there that's a little easier for you guys to see. So fingers crossed that works. All right. Nausea. I took medicine last night, I mentioned already. It was mostly managed by eating today, although I did have a couple times when I was like, quick, an emergency, I need a handful of something really quick because there's going to be horrible outcomes here. Like I mentioned also, there was at least once time this afternoon I considered taking some medication and decided against it. I was able to eat a little bit, and that was just enough. The mouth pain is yes. Not a bit, it's a yes. No teeth pain, no throat pain. My weight is down a smidgen to X6.55. My fluid in was 88 ounces yesterday, which is 2.6 liters plus 0.4 liters of IV, which brings me to just about 3 liters. My fluid out was 3.05 liters, so just about even. I'm calling that even. Could be a measuring error, for sure. My sleep was 5 hours and 43 minutes, and I did have about a 1 hour nap rest period this afternoon. Again, I haven't done any caffeine for quite a while. I probably will do caffeine tomorrow. For the doctor's office, I typically take a Diet Coke with me. Drink a little on the way there and a little on the way back, and that helps me stay not nauseous in the car, because cars are rough for nausea. I'm just putting that out there, especially when you're the driver. My movement yesterday was 5,900 steps with restorative poses. My vitals were fine. Excuse me. Neuropathy is still a no, so I'm grateful for that. Hair loss is status quo. Skin is status quo. Nose clots is yes. Night sweats is a yes. Nurse Lana thinks the night sweats might be from the prednisone since they're so high dose, because I feel like I only have the heavy night sweats during this 5-day chemo period, which is also the 5-day prednisone period. Headache, no. Fatigue, I don't know if it's fatigue or just tiredness, but I'll call it fatigue. I'm definitely not on my normal stamina game. My oldest tells me I have more energy than everyone in the house, even on chemo. I don't know that that's true. Maybe it's true on the other days, not these 5 to 10 days while I'm being treated and recovering. But in general, I have more energy than everyone. I would agree with that statement. And red skin is a yes. Somebody responded that they didn't see it on the video, so I'm glad that it's not visible to you guys. I can see it very evidently, so. And chemo brain, I don't think so. Although I still haven't figured out the answer to the how do you process fluids through IV versus orally, like what's the difference in processing time. But, you know, mine is not to question why, or maybe it is, but if I can't figure it out, I can't figure it out for now. Again, if you know the answer, please share it down below. I'm very interested, and I'm going to ask the doctors and nurses and see if they know. Everyone I know. All right, so I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your love and support. As you heard this, you guys are part of my toolbox. You're what helps me get through the days, especially the harder ones. And I know the harder ones are coming. I'm going to try and be consistent. Videos might be shorter, maybe not so much thought-provoking or quotes and discussions, more just here's the facts, letting you know I'm still kicking. But I will do my very, very best. And I really appreciate all of your love and support. So thank you so much. I love you. Remember, every day is a gift. Live it. All right, so you want to keep learning about what's going on here? Oh, crud. I can't remember again. Which way was I supposed to point? I really gotta... No, I think this is right. Here's... if you want to know what happens tomorrow, here you can subscribe. And if you'd like to know how I got to this point, there are 88, probably 88 plus videos, one per day plus a few extras, of what we've been through to get to this point. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you.